Hey guys, just finished watching Krypton Season 1, Episode 9, Hope. Wow, what an episode for this, since it's the, before last episode. So we have one more episode, it's the final type thing, so it's a before last episode, Episode 9 of 10 type thing, and it's really going to be cool to see where things go in the last episode. So we start off this episode with seg-el we find out that seg-el sent Kim to Kryptonopolis to get him away from here, to get him, after everything that went in Rona, being turned into a bomb by the voice of Rao, and dying right in front of him. He's kind of lost it all. So seg-el sent him to Kryptonopolis. seg-el is kind of losing hope that they can't really defeat Brainiac, and they don't know how to bring everyone together and all that. And Seg has a dream of being on Brainiac's ship and getting attacked by Brainiac. And General Zod wants to let Doomsday out. So him and Lyta Zod end up going to try and find Doomsday and break him out and set him free so he can attack Brainiac and the voice of Rao. And then we find out when they get there that and they need a Zod and an L to do that. And then that's when General Zod tells them that he is Seg's son. So seg-el's son is General Zod. So that's really an interesting idea, I guess, making that Superman and he is Superman's uncle, because in the comics and the movies and everything else, Superman and General Zod are the same age or the same generation type thing, pretty much the same age, same generation. Whereas here it looks like he might not be the same generation. He might be brothers to. Looks like General Zod is probably the brother to Jor-El or something like that, and making him an uncle to Superman. So I think that's an interesting idea. Playing with that idea, saying that he's a bit older around doing that. And it definitely makes it quite interesting to see how that plays out. And I think it'd be cool to see where things go with this for the future and how things continue on here, because I'm not sure. I don't think we've set up yet whether or not there's going to be a season 2. I've googled it a little bit, couldn't find anything, so I don't think there's any confirmation yet whether or not there's a season 2. But I think they'll probably let us know once the whole show is done, once all the seasons, they can get the whole numbers for all episodes. Since they're only doing 10 episodes for this season, they're probably just going to wait and see how that goes and then do it. That's just like they did with Legion. They tell us at the end, once all the seasons are done, all the episodes are out, then let us know whether or not it's going to be renewed. I think that's a good idea for here. So General Zod is actually seg-el's son. That was pretty cool. And when he finally opens Doomsday up, he sees that Doomsday is gone, and seg-el actually kind of took him away, and he gave him to the I forget, the kind of like tribe that was kind of protecting Doomsday and protecting the universe from Doomsday. So that was a cool idea. But then he gets called back there with where Nisa Vex is there with them, and they're finding out that the Doomsday cage is kind of failing. Since they moved it, he's kind of failing and stuff, and they don't know what to do with it. So the group of people there, I forget their names, but who are protecting him, that's not the best thing to do, is to bring Doomsday in the container to Kandor and leave him there, so that when Brainiac picks up Kandor, he can pick up Doomsday with him, and Doomsday could be gone from the planet, and they never have to worry about him, since he'll be taken away with the city. So that's an interesting idea. And then General Zod ends up challenging Jaina Zod to a duel, and so they start fighting and stuff, and then seg-el ends up going back to the Fortress of Solitude to seeing Val-El, his grandfather, asking him, if he's able to fix the Doomsday ship type thing, and a Doomsday containment, and he's not able to do it too much. He doesn't really know 100% of the knowledge and skills that his actual creator did Val-El actually did. So that's cool there. And we also see that the Superman emblem, Superman cape, only has about 3 feet left for the entire cape. Last episode, it looked like it had 3 feet left before it hit the yellow Superman sign in the back. But here it looks like there's like less than a foot from starting to go away, like a couple of inches before it hits the Superman symbol, and entirely kind of like 3 feet, less than 3 feet, and the whole thing left. So it's almost there. So it's really cool. There's like about maybe 2 feet, just barely 2 feet. So it's really cool to see that, and that's going to be cool to see how much it goes and where it goes from there. It would be quite cool to seeing that and seeing where things go with this. It would be cool. I think it would be cool to see if I was seg-el, if he puts on the cape type thing. And even though it's only a couple of feet, like right now, maybe in the next episode, there's no more Superman logo on there. There's no more, House of El symbol. That part is completely gone. And you only have like a small bandana's worth. It'd be cool if he put that on himself, tied it around himself, and then went out to fight. So it's not in the way for most of the fight. But at the end, when he starts defeating, Brainiac, because this season could end with some sort of cliffhanger that if they already signed in contracts for two seasons, that could be possible. Sometimes I've heard things about that online, trying to look up for season 2. So sometimes they know for a fact they have to get a season 2, and the series ordered Sci-Fi could have ordered 2 seasons just to try it out, since it is such a high property, Superman and all that stuff. So I think it could be cool to see that. But I think having this, like I said, with where seg-el puts on the cape around himself as like a small handkerchief, because that's all that's left as it's still disappearing, and then he goes out and fights Brainiac, and as he's fighting Brainiac, it slowly gets bigger and bigger until the end where you see seg-el with a full Superman cape on. That would be an amazing scene to see that, and just to have maybe because we didn't see anything of Adam Strange in this episode, so maybe he shows up, and that's when you see he shows up just in time to see seg-el kind of just beating the crap out of Brainiac, and the cape kind of just grows down. I think that'd be really cool to see that. Or maybe he puts the cape in his pocket, or he puts the cape, ties the cape around his neck and hides it in underneath all his jacket and stuff. And just when he defeats Brainiac, the whole cape just kind of goes and just kind of all just reappears, and in a flick of an eye type thing, and a blink of an eye, it all just reappears. So that would be a cool idea. And having the cape, there would be a cool thing. So I think it could really work with that. And I like the idea of playing with that and how things would go with that, and how things are gonna with the whole idea of hope. This episode is called Hope, so maybe want him to play with hope, and wanting to have the Superman cape, because it's a symbol of hope. And for him, he said, well, Superman's as a symbol of hope, then maybe he'll use it as a good luck charm. Having the cape with him to help defeat Brainiac could be an interesting idea. So it's gonna be cool to see where things go with that and the cape. Darren Vex ends up escaping from Black Zero, but he ends up later on crashing his ship, because Black Zero still has the remote control taser thing that works, I guess, from any distance. Lyta Zod ends up shooting her mother, saving General Zod during the duel that they were fighting, and General Zod is not happy with that. But and we see her mother later on ends up falling down, and it looks like someone's picks her up. I guess it's maybe her brother type thing from the flashbacks. It's unclear to see who that is. Then Rao and then everyone. So that's really cool with that, how everything's kind of changing, and things are going crazy with all of them. Rao ends up easily turning everyone on each other. So when you have seg-el ends up getting a Black Zero and the Gilded and the army and the soldiers to team up together to attack Black Zero, to attack the Voice of Rao and stop him from bringing Brainiac here. But the Voice of Rao just easily, or Brainiac and the Voice of Rao easily just corrupts one of them and points their guns at them, makes them fire, and it turns, they all just turn on each other, type thing. And then seg-el is the only one left. General Zod ends up telling Lyta Zod that Val-El is still alive somewhere, so that's an interesting idea. He's still alive, yet the Fortress of Solitude doesn't know that he's still alive. That'd be quite cool to see where things go with that. So I guess this guy is, so if Val-El's still alive, he's seg-el's grandfather, which would make it Superman's great grandfather or great great grandfather. Seg-el's, no, it would be Jor-El's great grandfather, Superman's great great grandfather. Wow, that's an interesting idea. So it'd be cool to see that and to see where things go with that. If he's still alive and what's going on with him. Is he still frozen? Is he frozen or something? And how has he spent the last 14 cycles what has he been doing for the last 14 cycles? How is he alive? Type thing, and he hasn't made it. I guess he's in stasis or something must be going on. He must be in some sort of coma-like thing, because how come he hasn't made it back to his Fortress of Solitude? So that'd be cool to see that, if Val truly is still alive. That'd be cool to see that. And Nyssa Vex ends up showing up and saving seg-el from Rao by stabbing him with the crystal that seg-el had given him to go off and go hide at the Fortress of Solitude, but she ends up stabbing the voice of Rao with that. That's when Brainiac arrives, and so it's gonna be interesting to see where things go with that. I mean, Nyssa Vex and seg-el end up kissing after she saves him and all that, and they go away. They run off. She saves him, and that's when Brainiac appears, and they take off, type thing. So it'd be cool to see where things go with this, and if the timeline stays intact. Now that they know that in 200 years the planet's going to explode, things are going to happen. I think that's going to be interesting to see. If this is where Lyta Zod and seg-el's relationship kind of ends ending, and they end up going different ways, it could be quite interesting to see where things end up turning. Maybe Nyssa and seg-el end up hooking up together, and they end up creating Superman. Now it makes sense, obviously, for General Zod to be Lyta and seg-el's son, but I mean, for Superman, to me it doesn't make sense just a little bit, but it would make a little bit more sense for them to be Nyssa Vex and seg-el's son. I think that could be an interesting idea. And then Superman and General Zod are kind of related, but they're not 100% related. They're more not just their step uncles, half. I guess Jor-El and General Zod would be half brothers type thing. That could be an interesting idea, making Superman and General Zod not entirely family, but kind of slight, half the same blood type thing. That could be an interesting idea, playing with that going into season 2. So it'll be cool to see where things go with here. We didn't see anything at all of, like I said, of Adam Strange in this episode, so we still need to see where he is and what he's doing, and who that person was when we last saw him. But it is pretty interesting to see where things go with all this, and how things are going to continue on for here, and whether or not we get a season 2. It'll be quite cool to see that. I kind of like this show. I like to see a season 2. We'll have to wait and see where things kind of go for that. But like I said, for a season 2, it could be quite interesting, bringing different characters. Maybe next episode ends with kind of Adam Strange going back to his timeline, and he's all good, everything's been set, and then someone else from different future comes through time and does that, and has another problem. Maybe Booster Gold or something. But hopefully it doesn't repeat the same thing, obviously, with the whole time travel thing. I think having different people could be quite interesting for that. Maybe, having some sort of a Green Lantern or different characters like that, having them involved. Maybe some Thanagarian, from Thanagar, some Hawk people, some different things like that. Maybe some Martians from Mars, Martian Manhunter, John Jones, or McGann Mars type thing. Miss Martian could be quite cool, bringing those two characters on. It would be cool to see what they would look like compared to the Supergirl, John Jones, obviously. So I doubt they're going to do that, because he's obviously on Supergirl, but we'll have to wait and see if we get someone like that. Maybe a Green Lantern would be pretty cool, or maybe even just kind of one of the Orange Lanterns, who, if I'm not mistaken, the Orange Lantern, there's only ever one at a time. So I think it would be cool seeing that and seeing where different things could go with that. And maybe having a bit of a Green Lantern storyline could be quite cool. Just seeing what happens if they didn't realize what it is, they don't know the ideas of the different Green Lantern Corps, and they get infected by a Yellow Lantern. It could be quite cool with that. To see where things go with this. But all in all, it's going to be cool to see where things go from here. It's going to be quite fun to see how things kind of continue on, and where things kind of go with this show. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 1, Episode 9, Hope. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Kal-El, my future grandson. This is the story of the House of El. The story of your family isn't how we died, but how we lived.